What is up, Coach Emma here, and welcome back to the Fit Habit Life podcast, where we cut through the noise, talk real health and fitness, sustainable fat loss, and habits that actually work. And on today's episode, I'll be talking about the biggest problems I see with functional medicine. There are a lot of them, so I might not even cover all of them. There's probably some I can't think of or I didn't put on this list. But before we dig in, I just wanted to thank you. If you've been enjoying the show, if you've been regularly listening to it, if you could rate the show, share the show, or subscribe to the podcast, that just helps me get in front of more people, which helps me help more people, which is the goal of the show. So, thank you. And the reason I wanted to talk about this topic, I wrote a post about this on Instagram, and a lot of people resonated with it. And I think I've seen across the board with a lot of clients that have come to me after having gone the functional route where they haven't actually resolved the problem. So they keep having to go back and pay more money to do another protocol or meet again with their provider. And then we work together, and with the provider and with my guidance helping the client, they get better results. And the money that they have spent is actually worth it. So number one, that leads me to number one. Functional doctors are crazy expensive. Like the supplement protocols, the appointments, even getting an appointment with a good one might take months to get. And so you're just sitting there waiting. And then when you do get it, it's not covered by insurance. They might take HSA, but oftentimes appointments are hundreds of dollars. And functional doctors require you to do some form of testing, and most of the testing they require you to do is out of pocket, because good testing, full blood panels with all the important values, aren't often covered by insurance. So, you book an appointment for hundreds of bucks, then you spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on testing, and then they prescribe you a supplement protocol that is thousands of dollars. And again, it's not covered by insurance. It should be. Functional doctors should be covered by insurance, but they don't make money off of that, right? Most functional doctors don't prescribe pharmaceuticals. That is a benefit. If you need them, they can prescribe them. A health coach, like myself, cannot. I cannot write a prescription for medication. But problem number two, this is what I do a very good job of, and what functional doctors don't do. They don't provide you with ongoing support. You might have a portal where you could send messages and ask questions, but that's it. You might get a 48-hour response time if you're lucky, and usually it's more questions. So it might take a couple weeks to actually get a solution to your problem, whereas working with a coach like myself, I say 24-hour response time. Usually it's pretty immediate, only on the weekends. I need a little bit of a balance here, you know. But for the most part, coaches respond way quicker. You get more face-to-face time with a coach, and it doesn't cost you thousands of dollars in order to do so. Usually, most coaches, like myself, I have an app that my clients can communicate back and forth with me whenever, and it's on my phone. When I'm hanging out with my husband or friends, I will mute those notifications. But other times, it's on, and it's only like, I'm at the gym doing my workout, don't want to respond right now, or stuff like that. But usually, I'm fairly responsive. I try to be as quick as I can. And those functional doctors will give you like a 3-month protocol and just say, bye, see you in 3 months. We'll run another $500 test and then see if it worked. But they don't reach out. They don't touch base. They don't see how you're doing the rest of the time. And most of my clients have questions a lot of the time. And most of the time, my clients, things change in life and they might need to adjust the plan because something came up and they need my guidance on, hey, this thing changed my life. What can I do in order to move in the right direction? Because what would have worked is not going to work right now. And the functional doctor wouldn't be able to help you because you don't really have immediate access to them. So, very little ongoing support. And number 3, one of the biggest problems I see, actually all of these are really big problems, but the one that I'm very passionate about, functional doctors know nothing about training. They offer no guidance on training. They don't even tell you to train. They might say, hey, go work out. That's it. They don't actually tell you, like, hey, you should do resistance training. You should strength train. You should find a personal trainer. Or, hey, here's a workout program that you can run. They don't do that. Some might refer out. I'm not going to say none of them do. I haven't had one who has, but they don't offer any type of training guidance, and that's really important. It's really important. Everybody needs to do some form of strength training unless you have a manual labor job, which most of us don't. Most of us do not have that. Most of us sit on our butts all day. So, and everybody needs to strength train. Most people with autoimmune conditions, gut issues, hormone imbalances, fatigue, low energy, they don't exercise at all. And they're not given any guidance. Like, here, do this protocol. But it doesn't include movement. Or it might say, go exercise, but what does that mean? What type of exercise is appropriate for this person? What would they actually be willing to implement? What could they actually implement? That's really, really important. Really important. And like, my husband, if you guys have listened to the podcast, you know he has had these chronic health issues for like his whole life, and we've been slowly chipping away at trying to figure out what the problem was. And when he's training more consistently, he feels better. Even though his training right now is not a lot, he doesn't feel really good. He still feels better when he's active. But a doctor would probably tell him not to do anything. But when he trains, he feels better because it's appropriate. It's appropriate intensity. It's appropriate amount of volume for the state that he's in now. If he wasn't married to me, he wouldn't know what to do. He edits this, so hopefully he actually listened to that part. I'm just kidding. Not really. I'm his coach. And it's free. What a lucky man. Right now, he's actually making me dinner, so I'm the lucky woman. He's grilling tri-tip. Problem number 4. Most functional doctors will give you a diet, like a diet guideline, like do low FODMAP, do paleo, do carnivore, but they don't talk about macronutrients. They might say you need to eat protein and fiber, but how much? They never ask about calories either. How many calories are you eating on a regular basis? A lot of my clients who have had thyroid problems, they're under eating. Their calories are super low and they don't eat any carbs because they thought carbs were bad for them. Had the functional doctor just been like, hey, how many calories are you eating? And how many carbs are you eating? And they're like, less than 50 and like 1,000 a day. Then they'd be like, oh, that's an easy fix. Once you start to eat more food appropriately, right? Slowly building up. And once you start to eat more carbs, you're going to feel better. Energy's going to improve. Thyroid function's going to improve. But no, they don't do that. And they put people on thyroid medication that don't actually need it. So it matters a lot. And I wish they did do that. I don't know if they know enough about that. Most of the functional doctors I've met don't have that much muscle mass and aren't super fit. So they probably don't track their macros. They should. They should hire a coach and figure that out, and then refer their clients to that coach. And number 5, it's kind of like number 2, little to no ongoing support, but it is a little bit different. Number 5 is there's no accountability around habits. So most people that I know that have autoimmune conditions, gut health issues, either people or clients that I've worked with, hormone imbalances, their lifestyle and habits and behaviors aren't dialed in. So sure, they go through this gut protocol or 30-day reset prescribed by the functional doctor, and they might start to feel better, but how do they maintain that? Because they haven't built the habits and behaviors that will keep their body in a healthy state to where they don't develop those gut health or hormone issues. Again, they don't do that. And that tends to be the root cause for most people. Lifestyle. There's a lot of other things nowadays, but most of my clients have something they can improve upon with their lifestyle. When I started with my coach, I was eating way too much protein. That's a lifestyle thing. Dial that in, feeling way better. Inflammation went down, digestion improved, I got stronger, I ate more carbs. I love carbs, they're great. So, most like I said, like most people's problems are lifestyle, habit, behavior related. And then some people have more extreme cases, but usually our bodies are capable of detoxing a lot of things. And if we're healthy and have healthy habits and our stress bucket isn't overfull, even though we're being exposed to more toxins, our body will be better capable of detoxing those toxins and removing them from our system. So that can be another like edge case, which is my husband. He's moldy and I'm also moldy. So, but we have the habits already. And again, most people with chronic health issues struggle with the basics, partly probably because they don't feel good, but also they haven't been taught how to properly shift their habits and behaviors into an easier, more sustainable fashion so that they can maintain that. And then once they do that, then going through like a specific regimented protocol would actually work because they're already doing the things to keep their body healthy. And then number 6, the plans that are often prescribed by functional doctors, and I've seen them, I've had them, they're overwhelming. One time, my husband was given, I kid you not, he had to order 30 little bottles of tinctures of different supplements, and he had to take them at certain times throughout the day. How ridiculous is that? Who can follow that? 30 little bottles of tinctures. That's a hard word to say. See, he never followed through on it. He actually did a pretty good job, but he didn't notice any improvements because they thought he had a methylation issue, which is another thing. It was the mold, but we didn't know that. So really the supplements he was taking didn't actually resolve anything. But yeah, that's overwhelming. Most people can't even remember to take their medications that are prescribed by doctors. You're going to tell somebody to take 30 bottles of tincture with them. My husband and I work from home, but most people don't. How are you going to do that? That's unsustainable. And usually, they also include a very restrictive diet, but they don't tell you how to make those changes or walk through them. Walk through the changes or slowly make those changes so it's not super duper overwhelming. They don't tell you how to do that. No wonder nobody succeeds with these protocols. Lasting changes happen slowly over time. It's not going to happen overnight. So you're given this like 90-day, 12-step plan to implement on your own, and you'll see your doctor in 3 months. Good luck. Yeah. Doesn't work. I will say, like, I would have never gotten into this more functional health coaching space had I never heard about functional doctors and functional medicine. So I have a special place in my heart for it. But over the past 3 years since I've been coaching, I've noticed a lot of pitfalls. But these pitfalls get resolved if the functional doctors pair with a coach, a good coach. Because a good coach matters. A coach that kind of understands the nuances. Because, again, the functional doctor might be providing the protocols, reading the labs, doing all of that stuff. And if the coach understands within their scope of practice how to help the client follow through with that protocol and apply appropriate training and nutrition guidance and lifestyle and behavior change, it's the perfect combination. The only other thing, depending on the client, that could be tremendously beneficial is working with a therapist. I'd say that's like the trifecta. Good coach, good therapist, good functional doctor. Perfect. So, again, biggest gripe is not that what they're doing is wrong. It's just, for the most part, so out of reach for most people and so overwhelming for most people. And they miss the low-hanging fruit to where pairing that with a good coach is going to make all the difference. And I actually partner with a wellness clinic, and with my clients, they can go to the calls with their wellness provider from that clinic, who can help them get hormone replacement therapy, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, peptides, work through other more advanced protocols if I haven't gone through them yet. And I can be on the call. So I can provide the context to that provider. That provider can give me guidance if what I'm trying to implement with the client might not be beneficial at this point in time. And then we're all on the same page. So I'm really excited about this new partnership. And they do things the right way. I've had clients go to other hormone replacement clinics or wellness, quote unquote, clinics, and not been a huge fan. I don't want to talk poorly about anybody publicly, but if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, because again, been there, done that, not me personally, but I've had clients go through other famous online providers, people locally, and I've been very disappointed in the quality of the service and the results that my clients received. They weren't good. So anyway, again, I would not be the coach that I am today had I not heard about functional medicine, finding the root cause, even learning about it myself, and digging in a little bit more and a little bit deeper and going through some doctors. I ended up fixing my problems myself and with my coach, but had I not gone through those experiences, I wouldn't be where I am today. And so I have tremendous respect for functional doctors, because what they do is important. It's just needs a little bit of adjustments. Hopefully, over time, there will be changes in this industry, and maybe more functional doctors will be paired with health coaches to help their clients implement these changes and provide structure and guidance, so that these results are long lasting. But anyway, if you have issues, like you have GI issues, hormonal issues, just really have been struggling to lose body fat and you can't figure out why, there could be some underlying root cause issue that's keeping you stuck. And I'm very, very good at solving problems. I was a software engineer before I became a coach, so I love puzzles. I ask a lot of questions, and I really dig in and I try to find the solution. So if you're struggling with this and you're like, look, I'm tired of struggling with this thing and I want help, please reach out and we could just set up a call, chat, and see if we'd be a good fit, and then talk about what next steps would look like. But yeah, I'd be more than happy to help if that's something that you're interested in. But otherwise, if this has been helpful, if you could share the show, rate the show, and subscribe to the podcast, that just helps me get in front of more people, which helps me help more people, which is the goal of the show. So anyway, thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.